here in just a couple of seconds. Got to get everything technology-wise worked out, and we'll be ready to go. Hope there's a bunch of you today. Really, really looking forward to this. Camera's getting my absolute best. I am just a picture of perfection. All right, let's see. All right, every glass, stick, cutter, lighter, restream, audio recording. I think we're about to get there. Everything just so, one of those people. So, all right, here we go. Hopefully that's coming through. Hey, Stoners, welcome to another edition of Sticks and Stones. I'm your host, Brent Elrod, coming to you from the cozy confines here on the patio, the No Shoes Bar and Grill, deep in the heart of the Republic of Texas. I have a really great show lined up for you today. I am pairing the banker with Diplomatico Reserva Exclusive. So I think it's going to be a great matchup. So right after this, we are going to pop the cork, cut the stick, and get to toasting. Now, H. Upmann is, it's one of those classic names in the cigar industry. This cigar has its origins back in Cuba, where Herman Upmann founded his first cigar factory in 1844. He ended up going bankrupt, or the company did, in the 1920s, and kind of got resurrected. But anyway, the next big, massive thing was the Cuban Revolution, and that led to communist country, the nationalization of all the Cuban cigar companies, including H. Upmann. That's the way communism works. You're not allowed to own anything yourself, but that's political. As a result, the brand moved to the Canary Islands, which is over just off of Europe or Africa, somewhere over in there. But was then moved again to where it is today in the Dominican Republic. Today, the brand is owned by Altadas, and the end result is there are actually two H. Upmanns. There is the Cuban H. Upmann that makes and sells Cuban cigars owned by the government. And then there is the Dominican H. Upmann, which makes non-Cuban cigars. So the Baker is, it's made featuring a filler of Nicaraguan and Dominican tobaccos. The binder is a Nicaraguan jalapa, and the wrapper is a beautiful Ecuadorian habano. And I hope I got all those right in the right order. I think so. Filler Nicaraguan Dominican binder, Nicaraguan jalapa, wrapper Ecuadorian habano. Pretty sure I got that right. This particular vitola, they call it the annuity. It's a Toro. It is 6x52 on the ring gauge. Now, visually, it is a medium to dark brown. It's got a slight oil sheen to it, but it's pretty smooth. The seams, I was looking a second ago, and the seams are basically invisible. I might pick up a little bit there, but really more is the maybe that can be picked up on camera on the live stream. There is some pretty pronounced veining on this wrapper. Uh, Now on the nose, I get have a natural tobacco, some cedar, uh, kind of. Well, it's actually. Let me hang on. Let me do this again here. I want to make sure I explain this right because it's not just like cedar. Um, it's kind of like a really deep, rich cedar, like right after you split a cedar log or cut down a cedar tree. It's not just like what you smell in a humidor. And then there's some notes of baking spice. Let's go ahead and give it a cut. Test out the cold draw. I am using my Cassetti multi-cutter on the V-cut. Very good cut. Tobacco everywhere. Now, on the cold draw. It is a very, very easy draw, uh, which feeling of it, I was kind of surprised. It's pretty tight. It does have a little bit of give to it, but I kind of thought it might be a little bit tighter on the draw, just from the feel. But it is really easy. Now, on the cold draw, I get notes of chocolate and cedar and a touch of spice, and then kind of off the nose a little bit of kind of natural tobacco. Uh, I am noticing as I was sitting here messing with it that the wrapper is splitting off right underneath the band, right about there on the back side. That could spell trouble later. So we'll keep an eye on it. I've never smoked an Upachman that I recall, and I would really hate for my first immersion into the brand to not come out very well. That would really keep me from smoking too many more of them. So, but anyway, on to the Diplomatico Reserva Exclusiva. This is a Venezuelan rum. It is a non-age statement, but they do make claims that it is aged up to 12 years, but officially it's a non-age statement. The ABV is 40%, so it's 80 proof, and it is distilled from sugarcane juice and molasses. So I'm expecting a lot of sweet, and they use column, kettle, and copper stills for distillation. And then the bourbon, I mean, the rum is aged in bourbon and malt whiskey barrels. So I'm expecting some really good things out of this. Pork pop, love those. That just, I mean, you look at that pour, that pours thick. I like the little ring. Like that. Love this glass. This is from the folks over at out the Dalmore Scotch. Love Dalmore 12 year. They make a 15 year and a 15 and a cigar malt that I think is 15 year and then an 18 year. And then I think there's something above that, but I typically don't even get that far. But for my taste, the 12 year is the absolute best. It's all really good, but I don't know. There's just something about the Dalmore 12 that I just really like. But that's not this. Let's go ahead and get into this one. Now, visually, those of you on the live stream can see. I mean, this is a really deep reddish copper color. It's really not what you think of when you think of rum. I mean, most rums are clear. You do have some dark rums, but this is not uh, this is not typical to me of rum. It is just a beautiful, beautiful, deep reddish copper color. Now on the nose, there's no alcohol burn in the nose at all. There is heavy notes of vanilla, kind of a rich milk chocolatey, kind of like Hershey's chocolate. Uh, there's notes of raisin, get a little more swirl. And then there's also kind of underneath it, there's some light florally notes and a little bit of baking spice in the background. On the palate, I love rum. That is very good. I'd forgotten how good this Diplomatico is. Uh, as with the nose, there are some very heavy notes of vanilla, which kind of give it a softer feel and softer taste. I mean, you know how vanilla is. Vanilla is not a sharp. Uh, it's not a sharp flavor. It's a very smooth flavor, I guess you'd say. That's what I always think of anytime I eat or drink anything that's vanilla. It really kind of coats your tongue, and it is just rich and sweet. And there are some more hints of baking spice and floral on the palate. And it's got a medium finish, and I think maybe a little beyond medium, but not a long finish, kind of medium long. Um, and you just get more. I mean, this is all vanilla and sweet goodness. It's really good. We'll take a third sip. Wow, that is very, very good. All right, now it's time to try them together. But yeah, anytime you're making anything out of cane juice and molasses, it's going to be sweet. Using my Rocky Patel Envoy 5 torch. If you want one, you can find one, a link to it on the Amazon store, the Sticks-n-Stone store. Copious amounts of smoke coming off of this stick. A little something else I want to watch on this too, but I'll keep it under my hat and for right now. I get kind of espresso, uh, raisin, a little cedar and herb, and uh, and then just a touch of spicy pepper, and then more pepper on the retro. Pretty good stick. I mean, I mentioned construction issues, but as far as the smoke, so far this is a good one. And it does put off a lot of smoke. Let's try them together. Very good together. Very good. what I get like right away, the heavy sweet vanilla note from the rum is just swirling around the espresso and the raisin notes from the stick. And this really, I'm more relaxed already. I mean, this is one of those like relaxing pairings, uh, kind of like the Dalmore with the Rocky Patel 60. That one, but that puts me in a really good place to just chill. Um, I think these are going very well together. I'm going to go ahead and burn this down to the halfway mark, and I will come back and give you an update. That's for the audio side, but you all get to keep me for a little while longer. Not burning extremely even, and we're going to see how it goes. I don't know if you can pick that up on camera, but right in the almost in the dead center of it is a hole in the ash, which tells me there may be a stem or a hollow spot in there from the rolling. Uh, yeah, I mean, this is a really more of a roughly manufactured stick. Uh, Label is not completely straight. Uh, so I mean, I don't want to, like, wow, really really starting to burn wonky. Uh, I don't want to bash it. I'm just getting started, but things are kind of rolling downhill as far as construction goes. It's a wonderful smoke. And I am glad to announce that apparently I am now back to full, uh, I don't know, full visual mode on Instagram. Apparently, they got a new guy yesterday, and he he or she or whatever uh, shut a lot of us cigar smokers down to only the people that were already uh, connected to us, that were already following us, could see our stuff. You couldn't search for us. You couldn't add new followers. I mean, you were just kind of stuck. And we all pitched a fit. And magically today, I was back, and no explanation. No, oh, I'm sorry, we screwed up. Nothing. Just I had to go and look and see, because I was like, I wonder if any of my stuff's getting out today. I went and looked, and it was all good. And I'm like, well, you could have, you definitely sent me a note and told me you were shutting me down. Why didn't you send one to tell me that you had screwed up? Yeah, you know, try not to say too much, because they're owned by one of the platforms I'm live streaming on right now. So, but anyway, and I only got on Twitter a couple of months ago. Just had been off of it for years and had not put the show on there. I was really concentrating on Insta, and and then I just decided, I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a try, because I couldn't. Uh, I'm still, I guess, a long way from being able to monetize on Insta, and I can't on Facebook. So moved over. It's gonna take me a while to get there on Twitter, but Twitter also does. They allow me to put affiliate links in posts, where Instagram can't do that. You can put it there, but it's not going to be a clickable link. They'll have to like copy it, uh, and so and they don't give you as much static about stuff like this. So I'm just, I figured, well, it's time for me to get on there. And so I've got, I don't know, I've been hung at just under 1,200 for a while. So I'm hoping that goes ahead and takes on off, and I could start trying to catch up with my Instagram number. And now with Restream, I love these guys. I'm live streaming right now on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter simultaneously. So that is triple the pleasure for you that's listening. Maybe or maybe not, And I hope the sound is coming through really well. The way it should be working is I'm doing Restream on my cell phone. It's Bluetooth to my audio board, and the audio board is connected to my microphone. So hopefully I'm loud enough. Maybe too loud, I don't know. But as long as I'm too loud, you can always turn it down. Well, I did. I felt the band move. Yeah, the band is kind of loose. It's not going to get a really good grade for construction. I can already say that. Because I've only had these cigars for a couple of days. So it's not like anything I've done. They went straight from the shipping box into the humidor, and the humidor is at 72%. And I have 2 hygrometers in there to make sure that it's right. Oh, and I'm wearing my the now the limited edition discontinued Sticks-n-Stonez polo with the Sticks-n-Stonez logo embroidered into it. Missed out on those, but I do have the Sticks-n-Stonez t-shirt, Great American flag on the front with the Sticks-n-Stonez, and on the back you got the Sticks-n-Stonez logo, the whiskey glass with a cigar on top, little smoke, Sticks-n-Stone underneath. It's right on my front page at Twitter. You can click on it. It'll take you to our Amazon store. Get one for yourself. They come in several colors, everything from small up to, I don't know, like double or triple X, somewhere around in there. Pick one up. Go by and see the folks over at Pinto Ranch. They'll hook you up with one of these beautiful Stetson toasted palm hats like I've got. I love this hat. Wonderful. It looks good. It feels good. It's Stetson. So, and you can get it for under $100. I mean, well under $100, not $99.99. No, it's on down there. I don't know when they might change prices, so I'm not going to say it online, but well under 100. You need to pick one up. They have others too. They have rabbit felt, or whatever they call that. The 3X, 6X, 20X, 100XL Presidente. They got everything from, like, I don't know, somewhere in the $50, $60, $70 range, all the way up to like $1,000. I'm not going to be buying $1,000 cowboy hat, but whatever your budget, they got something for you. I'm sorry if you can hear my dog. That's my doorbell. I don't know what she's barking at, but she's my baby, though. I love her. Still got a big wave in it. I mean, I'll touch it up because it's not going. It doesn't look like it's going to do it by itself. Let me see if I can touch it up. Maybe maybe it was my lighting. Try not to have the ash fall in my lap like it did last weekend. I mean, it is a pretty nice little stack of ash there. We're about an inch into it. It's still really, I mean, it's got a really good flavor to it. There's some really great, notes on the palate. It's just, I mean, to me, it looks like that those seams that were invisible before, you can see them now because they're starting to split. It really looks like it. I mean, the whole wrapper may come off of this thing. Oh, and got a triple cap. Y'all are getting the extended version today. At some point, I will be able to do the entire review on live stream. It's just a lot of coordinating. That rum is really, really good. I probably love rum at least equally to whiskey, maybe even a little more. Uh, I'm a retired veteran. I did my first stint was 2 years of active duty in the Navy, and I was on a ship that was assigned to do two things: drug interdiction in the Caribbean, and also like PR with foreign navies. So the British had sent submarines to this area that we used for stuff like this in down in the islands in the Caribbean, and they would try to hunt us and kill us, virtually speaking, and we would try and track them and kill them. Just a little war games kind of stuff. Uh, but what it meant was I spent a lot of time in the Caribbean, and I really, I really came to love rum. Uh, Back then, there was this huge Navy base on the east end of Puerto Rico called Roosevelt Roads, or Rosie Roads for those of us that were there. And we were pulling out one day. I can't remember if we were headed back to the mainland or if we were doing more work, drug ops, whatever. Uh, but we didn't even get out of sight of the island, and the ship broke down. Broke down enough that they had to send tugboats out to pull us in and tie us back up to the pier. Of course, this was, you know, 31 years ago or so. Um, and so, you didn't have, I mean, people, you didn't even know really much about FedEx or anything like that. It was constantly, uh, I mean, it would take forever for things to get anywhere. And it took 3 weeks for us to get the part that we needed to fix the ship. So we were there tied up to the pier for 3 weeks in Puerto Rico. Well, when you're like that, uh, there's four duty sections that work, and if you have duty that day, and so you work that day. The other 3 days, when the other duty sections are on, you're off. Well, so that meant 3 out of every 4 days I didn't have anything to do, and I'm on the island where Bacardi is made. Me and I had a Jamaican friend of mine, Carl Brown, uh, great guy. Still in contact with him 30 something years later. Love him. I don't know how I would have gotten through it without him and my sister Tina. Uh, but he and we were in the same duty section. So we get up every morning that we're off. We'd eat breakfast, and then we get on the little base bus and go down to the BX and the commissary, the department store and the grocery store, and that's where the Class 6 was. Oh, you veteran folks know what I'm talking about, the liquor store. Well, you're in the home of Bacardi. We were buying Bacardi back then for $2.50 a gallon. And we would go and pick up a gallon of Bacardi and a bunch of fruit juice and a cooler, I don't know, styrofoam things that tears apart, and some cigars. And we get back on the base bus and we go to one of two beaches that were on the military base. And we sat down there all day, leaned up against a palm tree, listening to reggae music, smoking cigars, and drinking rum and fruit juice. Hey, we had that beach covered. If anybody had invaded, we would have plied them with cigars and rum until help arrived. So I was doing my duty. All right. I still got a little wave to it, but it's I don't know what that was. This is turning into a really great live stream. I got dogs barking. I got alarms going off. I'm telling old military stories. Damn. At least it wasn't in my lap. There you go. Fell off. All right. And oh wow, it's got a pretty good size hole in it there. This thing may end up canoeing on me. We'll see. This is a really good cigar. I mean, it's got some great flavors on it, and it's not harsh or anything. I really like it. I'm hoping that the construction problems, I just maybe the guy that rolled it was hungover. I don't know. Rum is still going great with it. You know, people really get locked into bourbon or scotch with cigars, but you can get a really good rum, a good tequila, a nice tawny port, uh, and it all goes. And even some beers, depending on the stick, you can cigars can pretty much marry up with anything. You just have to get it figured out what you're how you're marrying it up. You don't want a bad marriage that will end in divorce, and you won't like the experience. I can tell you about that, but this one is not one of those. This is a really good one. Got a little bit more. We're not quite halfway. We're getting really close. I do halves. I don't. Most other folks that do the cigar thing, they do thirds. But I'm one of the few people. I don't know, maybe the only one. I'm not really sure, but there's not many of us that do the pairing thing. Pretty much everybody either they review cigars or they review alcohol, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm doing both. When I'm smoking a cigar, I'm having something to drink. So why not share my experience with all of you? Sadie's killing me. I don't know what she's barking at. Yeah, would let her out here, but we have the back fence here at the No Shoes Bar and Grill. There's two two backyards over there, and each one of them has a dog, and those dogs are not friendly. And she loves to run up and down the fence, growling and barking at them, uh, and even ripped some fence boards off the fence. So I had to shore it up and make it sturdier to uh, keep the 95-pound lab from ripping the fence apart. You take her to the dog park though, she loves other dogs. It's because they can't see each other. I've seen you, and they've got the little wall between them. You've seen that video where you got the two dogs just growling and snarling at each other through this little chain link fence, but it's a gate, and it's one of those that slides back and forth. And whoever's taking the video pushes the button, and the gate starts opening, and all of a sudden there's nothing between the dogs, and they're just sitting there staring at each other like, oh, this is not what was supposed to happen. So he pushes the button for the gate to close again, and as soon as the chain link gets between them, they start growling and snarling again. I don't know. It's, but anyway. And nobody else is home right now. I'm by myself. So there's nobody in there to tell her, hey, knock it off. She barks at anything. I took her on a walk here a while back, and you know how the little twigs fall off trees. Well, this one had like a fork in it, and it wasn't maybe 10 or 12 inches long. And the way it was laying, and we were walking on the sidewalk, but she was kind of up in one of the yards, and she stepped on this twig, and when she did, it kind of rolled, and it flipped up where one of those forks in it was sticking up. She jumped about 3 feet in the air, just straight up like a cat. She sounds like a Rottweiler, but she has the heart of a chicken. She lets us know, though, if a squirrel is running across the front yard or if leaves are falling. We know about it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and jump back in. We're getting right about the halfway mark, so I'll bring all of our other folks in. Y'all get the extended version today. Hey, stoners, I am back here at the halfway mark. The espresso seems to have kind of pulled back a little bit. Um, the It's kind of more like I don't know, maybe like a light coffee note now. Um, I still get the raisins and the earth and the cedar. That's kind of started taking the lead more. And the rum is still holding very firm. It is a great match for this cigar. We've been I'm still live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So if you're not on the live stream, man, you're missing it because I went extra innings today. They're all still there with me. Uh, I've had quite a bit of construction issues with this stick. Uh, it's still got the hole right through the center of it. The wrapper, while it has not managed to pull off, I mean, if I wanted to, I could tear the wrapper off because it is now fully pulled away from the stick, and all that's holding it on is the band. The band is keeping it in place. Um, so this is one of those that I love the smoke. It's a great stick from an enjoyment perspective, but it's got a lot of issues. So I'm going to go ahead and burn this down to the halfway mark, and I will, I mean, to the final, to the end, and I will come back and give you my final thoughts. See y'all later.